Hello, my name is Kaylee Baker. Today I want to talk about what it really means to move from a deficit mindset to an asset-based mindset when working with English learners. Too often, English learners are viewed through what they are still developing, vocabulary, grammar, fluency, instead of through what they already possess. When we shift our perspective, we begin to see cultural background, multilingualism, family traditions, and lived experience as a powerful academic resource rather than an obstacle. That shift changes everything about how we teach and how we build relationships. Culture quietly shapes nearly every part of learning. It influences how students define respect, how comfortable they feel speaking publicly, how they approach group work, and even how they respond to correction. According to great schools, differences in cultural norms can sometimes be misinterpreted as behavioral or academic concerns when they are actually communication differences. When we don't recognize that, we risk labeling students unfairly. Cultural competence requires more than surface level awareness. Teach Hub explains that it involves ongoing reflection and intentional adjustment of instruction. It asks teachers to consider questions like whose perspectives are represented in my curriculum? Whose ways of communicating are being privileged? Whose knowledge counts? For English learners, culturally responsive teaching does not mean simplifying content. In fact, Fisher and Frey emphasize that high expectations must remain in place. However, those expectations should be paired with meaningful support structures and culturally relevant curriculum. When students can connect academic content to their lived experiences, comprehension deepens and engagement increases. The classroom environment also sends strong messages. If multilingualism is treated as a temporary hurdle rather than a strength, students internalize that message. Color in Colorado highlights the importance of honoring home language as a cognitive and academic asset. Allowing students to think, draft, or clarify in their first language does not slow development, it strengthens it. Instead of simply celebrating culture during special events, culturally responsive teaching weaves students' identities into everyday instruction. That might look like analyzing global perspectives in literature, examining mathematical applications from different communities, or inviting students to compare problem-solving approaches shaped by family practices. Teacher vision suggests cooperative learning and student storytelling as a ways to position students as contributors, not just recipients of knowledge. English learners are often grouped together, but their experiences vary widely. Some may be newly arrived students with interrupted schooling. Others may have strong academic foundations in another language. Some may also have identified learning disabilities. Because of this range, responsiveness is critical. According to Fisher and Frey, schools need proactive systems that identify and support students early. This prevents English learners from falling further behind while they are simultaneously acquiring language. Within the classroom, scaffolds such as sentence frames, modeling, structured dialogue, and visual supports allow students to access grade level content without lowering expectations. Social and emotional needs cannot be separated from academics. Learning in a second language can create vulnerability. Fisher and Frey note that English learners may struggle to express complex emotions in English, which can lead to frustration or withdrawal. Teaching emotional vocabulary, modeling respectful dialogue, and establishing predictable routines creates stability. Classroom procedures matter more than we often realize. Clear routines reduce cognitive load, especially for students navigating a new language. When students understand expectations and feel safe making mistakes, they are more willing to take risks. Emotional safety fuels language development. Families of English learners hold deep reservoirs of knowledge. According to Color in Colorado, these funds of knowledge include cultural traditions, work skills, storytelling patterns, and multilingual abilities. These are not peripheral to schooling. They directly shape how students interpret language and meaning. Family practices influence everything from narrative structure to communication style. When educators dismiss these patterns, students feel a divide between home and school. But when educators invite those experiences into the classroom, language learning becomes more authentic. Building strong partnership requires more than translated newsletters. It requires respect. Color in Colorado emphasizes that communication should be ongoing and two-directional. Families should have opportunities to share insights about their child's strengths, not just receive updates about performance. Inclusive community engagement might include inviting families to demonstrate cultural skills, hosting dialogue sessions about educational goals, or creating mentorship networks within the community. These practices communicate that families are partners, not outsiders. The Grand Canyon University Statement on the Integration of Faith and Learning reminds us that education should promote human flourishing and affirm the dignity of every individual. When educators treat cultural and linguistic diversity as valuable, they reflect that commitment in action. Recognizing dignity means recognizing that students' identities are inseparable from their learning. An asset-based approach transforms how we see English learners. Instead of asking what skills are missing, we begin asking what strengths are already present. That shift changes instruction, classroom culture, and family engagement. According to Fisher and Frey, when schools center the needs of English learners, the learning conditions improve for everyone. By maintaining rigorous expectations, honoring cultural identity, supporting social emotional development, and partnering authentically with families, we create classrooms where multilingualism and cultural diversity are viewed as strengths. Ultimately, leveraging English learner assets is not an additional strategy. It is a mindset that shapes every decision we make as educators. Thank you.